This is Magic Mermaid, and well, I'm just hanging out by myself. Do you like my crystal? Isn't it pretty? I love crystals. My sister gave me this as a gift, and she's really awesome. Her name is Georgiana, and she gave me this cool crystal. So I'm just hanging out by myself, and I just wanted to share a story with you. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm one more year and a year and a half basically, and I'll be 50. So my birthday is October 27th, 1970. So in a year and a half, approximately, I'll be 50. So I feel like there's changes when you get close to 50. And I definitely don't feel like a senior citizen, for sure. But I do like getting close to 50. It feels like it's time to tell stories of my life. And I've had a really interesting life. And one of my interesting stories I had was I lived on a farm in Hawaii, right in the Captain Cook area. And I lived with this super cool guy named Henry Kelly. And he was a lot of fun. And he let me, live in a tent with a platform for $300 a month. And over in that area, that's a good deal. So I was living on Henry Kelly's farm, and he's a really interesting guy. He, in his life, he's what you would call a deadhead, which, as far as I know, that means people that would follow the Grateful Dead around. And so he followed the Grateful Dead around. He went to 300 of their shows. When I was cleaning his tent area, he had a nice, big tent. And I found lots of his Grateful Dead shirts from the concerts that he got when he was on tour. So anyway, he was just this really great guy. We had a few stories about that, and that was fun. And one time it was 4th of July, and there was kind of a nice group of people there, and there was a beekeeper there. And I always relate well to bees and beekeepers and honey, and I've rescued so many bees that were floating in water, and it pulled them out of the water to save them. And so I think that whole realm of that world is nice to me, including the bees, including the honey, comes to me naturally. So I'm at his house. It's the 4th of July, and this beekeeper shared some magic potion with me somehow. And I tried some of his little magic potion. And next thing you know, I could see heaven. And it was so really interesting because I could see heaven, and it was this really interesting story because I could see heaven and I could see earth at the same time. Now this, in my whole life, this only happened one time. And it was just really fascinating, and it was really exciting, and it was really real at the time. And I seen heaven, and I seen the gates of heaven. I looked inside. I saw the pearly gates. I saw the white light. It was beautiful, unbelievably gorgeous, marble, white, beautiful. And I seen heaven. I seen Jesus in this vision. It was a vision I had. I seen Jesus. I seen all the disciples with him. And I looked inside the gate and I said, "Can I come in?" And they said, "Yes." And I didn't come in. And so to me, I was like at the gates of heaven asking if I could come in. And they were saying yes, that I was allowed in, but then I didn't go in, which meant it wasn't my time, I feel. And then after I seen the gates of heaven, I seen all the animals that you could ever imagine from prehistoric times. I seen all of them. I mean, as many as I could see. I don't know if it was all of them, but I remember one of them was a rhinoceros. And all of these were in rainbow dots. And they were all rotating together in a like a musical symphony. And it was so beautiful. And I could see all of this. And I was in two realms at one time. So I could see all these animals. This was the next thing I seen after I seen heaven. And it was so exciting. And I looked over at my friends and I said, "Can you see what I can see?" And they couldn't see it. So I was in two realms. I was in the heavenly realm and I was with them too. And it was a beautiful, magical thing. And it was something I'll never forget. And then the next vision. So I had 3 visions. So that was the second vision. The third vision I had was I seen all of the stones that you could ever imagine. The blues, the greens, the rubies, the emeralds, the sapphires, the diamonds, all the jewels you could ever imagine were pouring out of heaven like the rain. They were pouring out of heaven. And I was like, I don't need anything because God has all this. And so I just started throwing away all of my material possessions because I felt like God was saying that he has all this, and so there's no need for lack. And so he was just pouring it out like the rain. And so I was taking my jewels, that were, and just throwing them out in the woods because I was like, I don't need any of this. I have what God's giving me. And so I felt no need for material possessions. And so this was a very interesting night. I had these 3 visions, and they were very intense. And then I had a boyfriend at the time, and some things happened, and well, this could have been my last day. And basically what that's saying is God was showing me heaven. Well, I just want to send out my love and my aloha. And thank you for listening to my true story. And it was just such an intense night. And I never felt the same after that day. I just felt like God showed me something, and God showed me something special, and that he was the one who showed me this. And he was showing me, giving me visions of heaven, and giving me visions. There is no shortage. God has all the abundance. God wants to give people more abundance, but it's just a matter of what's right. So I just want to send out my love, and you guys are the best. Aloha.